Hello and welcome. And I have the distinct pleasure of having Joseph Thomas. He's the VP of Development at IIT Madras in the development office there. And we just want to kind of catch up with him on some of the things that are happening at IIT Madras for the benefit of a larger audience. I think there are many, many wonderful things that I've certainly known in the last 1 year. And it would be great if you could share some of these with our audience here. So Joseph, let's get this started. Can you tell us a little bit about your role at IIT Madras, please?
Certainly. I work in a newly set up office called the Development Office. Our primary aim is to raise funds for IIT Madras's activities. Certainly IIT Madras does get solid support from the Ministry of Human Resources and Development, but that covers the needs of the institution. Our aspiration is really much bigger. My primary job is to actually work with corporates and try to elicit the corporate social responsibility funds from them for the work that we're doing in IIT Madras.
So Joe, thank you for that. Can you tell us a little bit about your views on the IIT research and startup ecosystem and then its connection to CSR, please?
In the 80s, 60 to 70% of our students were going abroad for further studies. That number today is only about 10%, so it's drastically come down. I think the role models that people have seen in India of entrepreneurship and innovation is pushing students towards that role. They are taking up jobs either in industry with an intention of doing a startup, or joining a startup, or starting their own. So all these three things are happening with about 60 to 70% of our students currently. I think the ecosystem is now really vibrant thanks to the initial support of the government, and now with the advent of CSR, it makes it that much better. So the government gave this push, and now they are saying, if you see the new Companies Act, that corporate social responsibility funds can also be used to support the incubators. And that is a fabulous thing, because that brings additional inputs, financial inputs into the technology business incubator. But more importantly, I think the knowledge that industry has on markets and business practices, if they can work with the startup companies in that sense also, it's a fabulous input.
You know, the concept of industry-academia partnerships has been discussed for a number of years now across the globe, and particularly in India for sure. Can you tell us a little bit about the IIT Madras Research Park that's coming up, and how you see the partnerships evolving, and a little bit more insight into how it's working right now?
A lot of the entrepreneurial activity in IIT Madras began with one professor encouraging students to form companies back in the 80s, late 80s and early 90s. You know, the traditional view of research in India is that it's academics and it doesn't go anywhere. It's they don't understand, we understand better, and so on. All these ideas have now changed with the interaction that's taking place at the research park, and I think that mindset change is very important. I think that's a big change that the research park has made. The level of industry academia collaboration has gone up, and it's working well. Many patents, many licenses, all this is happening, which is why phase 2 is now very crucial. We want there to be more of this. We want more incubated companies and more companies coming to work with IIT Madras on technology and development.
So Joe, we know IIT Madras has been big on social aspects of research and how it impacts communities. Can you tell us a little more about the rural technology business incubators and some of the success stories that you've seen?
Sure. The rural technology and business incubator has roughly 40 companies under incubation. I'll just talk about 2 or 3 of them to give you a flavor of what they do. It's called Ather Energy. It's 4 students from engineering design department. They started work on building an electric scooter using high-tech lithium-ion batteries and management systems. In the space of 4 years, in the space of 4 years, they have managed to come to a place where they're ready to launch the product. Now that's really fast. They were helped tremendously by various mentors at different levels, at the technology level, at business level, running the company. 4 years, and now they're in Bangalore. They've moved out of Chennai, they've come to Bangalore. The company is called Ather Energy, and they had two significant investments, one from Flipkart. A second one was from Tiger Global, which is a international venture funding. A second company I'll talk about is one that's has built from IIT Madras expertise filters for water, which can remove things like arsenic and iron. It's not reverse osmosis, it's actually a filter, and it uses nanoparticles to do this. It's one of the first of its kind, and it also has raised $18 million they've raised, again from I think a US company. So there are these success stories, and as far as the incubators are concerned, the kind of leveraging they've done is almost 100 times. The amount of money invested into these 90 odd companies and the amount of money that they've been able to raise is more than 100 times actually, and that's a tremendous feat.
So Joseph, thank you very much for spending time with us. It was delightful talking to you here in Bangalore today, and I'm sure the audience would have certainly benefited from this. Thank you very much.